Peace, the Black Moon here. I'm coming back with another recorded video. I just wanted to talk with you guys about something. I don't know if any of you have ever considered posing questions to your tarot deck. I think it's a good practice to instill. However, I also believe to each his own. But I just want to put that out there and let you see how it works and how beneficial it could be. And it also helps you to connect with your deck when you understand the reason why it appeared in your life. I did a video in the past actually on the little red one deck where I posed 4 questions as a way to become more familiar with it. However, I didn't do it immediately after I got the deck. It was sometime after. Better late than never, because the answers that I got were just astonishing. And it actually, when I start to reflect from today back when I first bought it, and I can see how much I've really changed by just applying the advice that was given in the deck and so on and so forth. But anyway, these same questions I posed to also to my New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck, which is another deck that I like to use. And I actually posed these questions shortly after I posed the other questions for the other deck. But I just haven't had the time to share it with you all. Now I have the time. So the reason why it's good to question your deck. Can you believe that? The reason why it's good to question your deck is because you become aware of a lot of things. You become aware of the strengths, the limitations, the ways that it can help you, and also significant characteristics about the deck that differs from any other deck. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the cards that I got from the Little Red One deck to the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck. It's amazing the results that I've got, because they are very similar with the exceptions of the significant characteristics. They are the only ones that differ. Okay? But these decks serve to bring a great purpose in my life. Okay? So the first question that I posed to the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck was, what is your most significant characteristics? And the answer I got was Master of the Head. If anyone else in the group owns this tarot deck, then you understand that this card right here, it reflects Master of Self. Mastering self. Overcoming difficulties. Overcoming obstructions. When you are in a position where you are able to master yourself or master your own head, that basically means that you're not leading your life according to someone else's will. You're leading your life according to your own. Okay? If this card comes up, it's reminding you to do that. You may be involved in a situation where someone is actually trying to oppress you or trying to convince you to do something that you really don't want to do. When this card comes up, it's reminding you to master your own head, make your own decisions. Okay? Try to be brief with these cards, but they speak to me so much that I can go on and on and on and on. Okay, the card that I got last time in the Little Red One deck, and this represents again the significant characteristics of the deck. The card that I got for this deck was Resurrection. This is a wonderful card because when you get this card, it's letting you know that you're tapping into some new wisdom. Okay, something that's different, something that no one else knows about. Okay, I love when this card comes up because throughout the day you start to have certain revelations and things of that nature, miracles, and you're like, oh wow. I mean, things that just are unbelievable with this deck that happens, that's associated with this card here. So the next question was, what are your strengths? And the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck, yes, this is the card that I got. This card, basically, if you look at it, it tells you that it's basically reminding you to be mindful of the laws, the universal laws that governs our decisions. Make sure that with every decision that you make, that it is founded upon the universal laws. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in this position here. And when you're in this position, what's happening is you're being judged. Now, this can take place in society court of law, or this can take place in the universal court of law, okay? Make sure that every decision that you make is founded upon universal law. So this actually represents the strength of the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck, because what it's saying is what it's telling you actually is just to keep a balance. Keep your scales balanced, all right? Always stop and ask yourself questions. Turn to your ancestors if you're not sure. Just make sure that the decisions that you're making, you understand, are in accordance with universal law. And that's exactly what I'm doing when I do any type of readings or spells or anything. I just had to throw that out there because I know how dangerous energy can be. In the little red one deck, this is the card I got. It's about it means the same thing. It's reminding you, when this card comes up, it's reminding you of universal law. Keep a balance. Do good to others and good will be done to you. Do bad to others and bad will be done to you. Okay? This card protects you from obstructions as long as you keep in alignment or keep in harmony with the universal laws, and they are within you. You don't have to go Google them or anything like that. Okay, we have a conscious, and our conscious is always speaking to us and telling us whether or not if something is considered good or bad, or if we're losing our balance. Just put it like that. And then the next question was, what are your limitations? New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck. Oh man, Ogun Forale. Okay, look at all that red in that card, and the white or the gray that you see is actually metal. And this is a Rada card which represents wind. Wind is a very powerful element, and this is the element that I rule by majority. I'm dominated by wind. So basically what this is saying is that the limitations involves losses, okay? And the losses, they manifest according to our speech, the words that we're using. So it's like, this is someone who is hard, okay? See, he's made out of metal, so he's hard. So when he speaks hard. So this card is just reminding you to watch what you say, because you will incur losses with your mouth. I'm not going to go too much into this card, but I'm going to let you know that it means exactly the same thing as the card that was listed in the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot deck. Exactly the same thing. But here you have a woman who's depicted, a black woman, and she's depicted as someone who's bitter and angry. She's at least 40 years old or older, and she knows how to cut you with her words, okay? And when she does cut you with her words, you better believe she incurs losses as well. She will lose. The last and final question, because this video is getting kind of long. I don't really like long videos. I like to keep them short. The last question was, what purpose do you exist to serve in my life? Here we have Yagwo. I love her. This is going to take a second to explain, because it's just not Yagwo you see in this photo. You also see Elegua, you see Oshun, you see Ogun, and you see Ochosi. This is a woman, or an image of a woman who is fiercely protected. So let's say this is me. So what this card is saying, that I am a woman who is fiercely protected. This represents a new job, employment, successful employment. Whenever you see a legba, it represents successful employment. It also represents protection of your family, especially your home, and of course you. All right. Why she needs this protection? Because of the type of work that she does. Okay. She's a healer. She's a sorceress. She's an alchemist. She's a witch. She's a priestess. So if anyone out there wears any of these titles, then you are working for Yagwo. Okay. Ochosi, let's talk about Ochosi. Ochosi represents accumulation and wealth. Okay. And whenever you get the card Ochosi, which I have in this deck as well, it's letting you know that you have an accumulation. And if you don't put what you have to good use, you are going to lose it. Okay. Also, you have Oshun. Oshun represents beauty and love and pleasure and things of that nature. She also represents the law of attraction. So we who fall under her, she's made us very beautiful, whether it's inward or whether it's outward. We have a special attraction about us. It's something that's very attractive about us, to where we attract sick people into our life. And the reason behind that is because of the work that we do. We're healers. Okay, we're not supposed to be falling in love with them and marrying them and things of that nature. We're supposed to be healing them. But sometimes it takes for us to do that, because when we do that, that means we need healing as well. And then we have Ogun in the picture as well. And Ogun is represented by this pan right here, this hard pan. And this is Ochosi. And Ogun, of course, he represents like fierce protection as well. Ogun breaks spells. Ogun also is, he's courageous. Okay. He works well under pressure. He does not break. He stands. He don't care. And he's a reactionary, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you don't do anything to him, if you don't hit him, he's not going to hit you. You understand? If you hit him, he's going to sit there and he's going to use his power, his force. He's going to send out his fire, and that fire is going to tear you up. He's all about war, all about war. Okay. In this deck here, I got the elders, and the elder deck represents, you see all those books here in the library? The elder represents education, ancient education, education from the ancient elders. You understand? What they're saying here in this card is they're telling you to study, to read. As I said in the last video, it's like a young person who has an old spirit in their body. They fill with wisdom. So this card represents wisdom. So these cards relate. The cards from each deck, they relate so much to one another. It's just, it's really mind-blowing. So both decks serve the same purpose, with a couple of exceptions, because I haven't really yet studied how these two relate, but I'm going to look into it. The only thing that I can say at this point is that she's using the education of the elders as a means to heal and to teach. So, makes sense to me. And these two are completely different, because this represents tapping into some new wisdom, and this represents just being in charge of your own self, making your own goddamn decisions without allowing anyone else to influence, anything, or the environment to influence your decisions. Okay? So, just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope I covered